There's a new financial empowerment center located in the Wayne County Treasurer's Office on the 5th floor of 400 Monroe in Detroit.
If you or someone you know needs help with their finances, budgeting, and making monthly payments, the Detroit Financial Empowerment Center can help.
Wayne Metro Community Action Agency has counselors ready to provide free one-on-one counseling to help you address issues related to utility bills, taxes, and other financial matters. We can also help you improve your credit score.
Everyone, if you're looking for the weekly broadcast of the Ask Welfare Rights Program, you have found us once again. My name is Maureen Taylor, and I work with the Michigan Welfare Rights Organization, and we are doing a lot of things with the office sort of semi-open right now as we try to provide mitigation and safety events and whatnot to make certain that our volunteer staff and our clients and our friends are kept safe during this difficult COVID-19 situation. I'm here with my colleague, the national chairperson of the National Welfare Rights Union, and that would be Marion Kramer, who's going to give an official good morning. So Marion, please say good morning to folks.
Good morning, and I hope you all had a wonderful week. But things are constantly thrown in our faces, and we still have to fight. I want to remind you that you are listening to WHPR.
Look at the bottom of the TV screen.
Yeah,
no.
yeah, use that one. Is it me? Let's use these numbers down here, which are the same numbers I'm about to repeat to you. If you want to participate, please call in at 313-868-4336, 313-868-0351, and particularly before you pick that phone up, turn that TV down, where we have the opportunity to hear your wonderful voice.
How about the website?
Let me get there, will you?
I wasn't sure you was going to get
Well, sit over there and be quiet a minute. The website that you can participate on is www.tv33whpr.com. All right, where are we going today, Maureen?
Well, let me make this announcement. You know, we've been very busy trying to ramp up support for a couple of issues in the electoral arena. And this young lady, Ms. Collins, and some of the groups that she works with, she's a Mason, and or is a Shriner. Mason or Shriner, I'm not sure now because I just met her. She's a very wonderful and energetic young lady. And, you know, it's time for kids to go back to school. We're going to discuss that. And their organization will be at the Bravo Community Center. Bravo Community Center. And that's at 13340 Harper. 13340 Harper Street, East Side, City of Detroit, at the Bravo Community Center. Now, we're talking about tomorrow, which is Saturday. And they'll be there from 1 to 6. And Marion, what they're making available is, you know, for kids getting ready to go back to school, they've got backpacks filled with school supplies. It's going to be fun. It's going to be lots of food there, hot dogs, hamburgers given away to the kids. And the part that I thought was interesting, because I haven't seen too much of this before, they've got some volunteer barbers that will be at that location, and they've agreed to do haircuts for kids.
That's wonderful.
And that's really nice. Now, you have to register to get a haircut, and that's because if 800 kids arrive, there will not be 800 haircuts performed tomorrow. So you have to register in advance only for the haircut part. Everybody else and anybody else should be going over to the Bravo Community Center. But if your kid needs a haircut and it's for free, you want to call Miss Destiny. Miss Destiny, and you could reach her at 313 area code, and to register for a haircut is 784-5167. 784-5167. So this again is tomorrow at the Bravo Community Center, 13340 Harper. Lots of fun, lots of food, and lots of fantastic activities. They're doing face painting, and they got relay races. They're raffling off a bike. You know, looks like it's going to be a really nice and a big deal.
nice.
That's very nice. So that's tomorrow, Saturday, from 1 to 6 at the Bravo Community Center. So, Marion, I thought we would start off. I saw this guy's interview again, and that's this. He's one of the administrators at the Capitol Police Building in D.C. Capitol Building, and he's one of the administrative police persons, and his name is Byrd, B-Y-R-D, and he came out 2-3 days ago and said he was the one that shot Ashley Babbitt. And Ashley Babbitt was the woman that was, you know, breaking in to the Capitol chambers, and at the end of the hallway, the door was barricaded, and at the end of that hallway was the House of Representatives. So they had already come through this floor, this floor, this floor, this barrier, and they were here now, and saw where the House of Representatives, was straight down that hallway. And this was the guy who was where the doors were barricaded. He was right here, and all you could see was his gun and his hand. Remember that? All right, so the right-wing folks are saying, we demand to know who he is. And someone revealed his name already. He's an African-American guy, so you already know. He's a black guy and then shot this white woman, and we're going to have all sorts of Gone with the Wind with this. All right? So somebody outed him already and said who he was, where he lives, and who his family is. So, of course, he's getting daily, multiple calls an hour probably. We're going to kill you in. We're going to cut your head off in. All of this kind of stuff. And he's, I guess he is, I'm not sure if he moved already, but they're looking at leaving their Washington, D.C. Residence so that they can go live someplace else. And so I'll ask you, and certainly anybody out there with an opinion, 868-4336 or 868-0351, what do you think about this officer shooting this woman? Now, before you answer, they want to, part of the folks want her to be labeled as a patriot and a martyr. That what she was doing was within her rights, and that this particular officer who has gone through a hearing and was exonerated, okay, you're not guilty, you were supposed to use your firearm. And then the question became, nobody else in the Capitol Police fired a weapon, and why did you? Okay, that's the question. Now, you have any thoughts on Ashley Babbitt and Lieutenant Byrd?
Lieutenant Byrd, was he one of the 4 people that they had interviewed?
No.
Okay. Okay, good to hear that. He do need to leave Washington, D.C. and find another place where he and his family could probably
Be safe.
be safer. Now, you notice the difference. On the one hand, we got over here the folks that said that the people that took over the Capitol, they want them to be freed. My thing is, hell no. Excuse my French. No, they should not be freed. But I think he did what he had to do, and he should be respected for it.
All right, well, there was a hearing.
And furthermore, Marie, she was one of the loudest mouths out there too. I mean, and that is not her constitutional right to storm the Capitol. I mean, come on, let's be
Privilege.
Privileged people that
All
think
the
they
time.
always got that. They always have the ability to do what the hell they want. No.
Well, I agree with you. You know, and with this conversation, it's connected to something we were talking before we got on the air about this horrible situation going on in Afghanistan.
Oh my goodness.
But here's Ashley Babbitt, and here are the rest of these right-wing nuts breaking into the Capitol building and using chairs and clubs and whatever else they could find to break into the building as they were looking for Nancy Pelosi, wanted to kill the vice president.
And they still
And I
hollering for
just
that
wonder
mess.
if they had gotten through that door and got down the end of the hallway where the House of Representative members were, and that one guy, Cory Booker, was talking about where he sits in the House chambers is close to the exit door, which is at the end of the hallway. And he was asked, not recently, but a few months back, what did he think would have happened if those Confederate flag waving people had come to the house and he was the first one sitting there?
Oh wow, they would have
Yeah,
slammed him.
well, he started talking about how glad he was that he didn't have to face that, but the reason he took his jacket off is because he was prepared to fight because he knew that that's what was coming. Caller, we're going to go straight to you and have this conversation a little bit this morning. Caller, welcome to Ask Welfare Rights, and you are our first caller of the day. You are on the air.
Dun, 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 dun. Happy Friday.
Hey, Miss
Hey.
Theo, good morning.
Theo, how you
Thank
doing?
you. Thank you. Well, as it relates to the woman who broke into the window on January the 6th and was shot, well, that was the response. When you find somebody crashing in through a window, they're not coming to give out presents.
Probably not.
That's right.
You know, and could it be because she was a woman that people think that there should be an exception? No,
No.
she was acting like she had been taught when she was in the military,
That's right.
just like any other soldier, male or female. You know.
I do understand.
And I just think it's interesting that there weren't more shootings. And it seems that there weren't more shootings because there was cooperation from the inside.
Sure looks like it.
Well, the day before, there were people dressed in the red uniforms with what they call that hat, the mega hat or something. They
Oh,
were
the
wearing.
MAGA hat. Make
MAGA.
America Great Again. MAGA.
And they were given a tour of the Capitol on January the 5th.
Yeah.
So that was what they call a dry run.
That's what it looks like.
Right.
Yeah. They're trying to make her into a martyr. And she, apparently, I don't know if either you or Marion had heard this, they went back and checked her Facebook page. That's the first thing they do, go back.
Oh,
And on her Facebook page, she had all kind of writings about how much she loved Trump, and that the world is changing, and that some of us are losing our prestige and our power. Some of us, yeah, I know exactly what that meant. And some of us are in a circumstance right now where we're uncomfortable, and all this kind of stuff. And she was writing some pretty damaging things on her Facebook page, and had been writing those things for a long time. Miss Theo, go ahead.
So she was actually preparing herself to do exactly what she did. And I just
right.
noticed that the syndicated media is really slick. On the federal level, I don't remember hearing more than one time or a little bit of a time that there were two gallows that had
Oh,
been taken up to the Capitol. One
and
so
one
that they
hanging
could
was gallows.
hang
She's saying she
Nancy
heard about two.
Pelosi, and
Oh,
two so that they could hang Pence, the Vice President of the United States.
yeah, yeah,
Republicans.
yeah.
But they kind of glossed over that, and they wanted to say, well, this was my group of people. But see, the syndicated media is now practicing its little trick here in the city of Detroit, as they have a blackout on a black man. They will report to you everything that the mayor is doing to make him look good, but they don't tell you what the competition is doing. Now, there are only two people on the ballot November the 2nd.
It's only
That's the
two.
mayor and Anthony Adams.
That's right. It's only two.
That's right. And when you take a sales class, the first thing they tell you is you've got to get the name of the product or the name of the person out there. You have to repeat it over and over and over again. And I noticed there's a talk show host that keeps repeating the mayor's name over and over again, and he'll tell you something negative that the mayor did. But that's irrelevant. The fact is, he's mentioning his name and nothing about the competition.
Yes.
And one of the activists in the community called him and talked about Anthony Adams filing a complaint in court about the water issue.
Mm-hmm.
And he just attacked her, went off the deep end. I'm not talking about that. And I could go on about it, but I'm not going to talk about it. And how come he didn't file 6 months ago? Well, the fact of the matter is what he filed in court didn't happen 6 months ago.
You know,
And
look.
also, they confiscated papers from their chief of staff.
Yes, I did hear
Carol
that.
Banks, the chief of staff for Scott Benson, and Jay Ayers, chief of staff.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And,
They go to
and
the
you know,
mayor's office.
no, they
haven't
went to
gone
those
the
two
mayor's office
offices.
yet.
And, you know, you just wonder, you know, we've already got 4 seats that are being surrendered.
Right.
So, you know, and now here's 2 more. So 4,
Right.
5, 6. And don't know, you know, just because the FBI went there doesn't mean anybody's guilty. But, you know, FBI's hands are not clean. They've
Right.
done all kinds of dirt.
They,
but
they have never been
you
clean.
know, but
Right.
what we've heard is that by the time the FBI shows up to your house, they already have the evidence they need, and they're just there to get a little bit more. But what does that do to the atmosphere, to the environment, Miss Theo?
Well, for some people, it might frighten them. For other people, it helps them make up their mind that they don't want to vote for those two.
Yeah.
But the other issue is the voting midway September. It's not November the 2nd. We got absentee voting. It starts, what is it, about a week? Maybe a week and a half?
I passed by the Northwest Activities Center Friday, and there were people outside with signs saying absentee ballots are available here.
Oh.
So it looks like they're already being distributed, and folks can pick them
Okay.
up for the next 7 to 10 days.
So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They're ready.
So,
So
yes,
that's
good point.
Impact it.
Yeah.
But let me tell you what else is interesting about the syndicated media.
Yes.
The guy who was running on the east side, a white guy who was a reporter, who's running against Miss Johnson. She got more votes than he did. He was on TV and let it rip last night.
On TV with what?
And the story they said, well, she was invited but respectfully declined. I don't know whether she did or didn't. I just thought it was interesting that they are pushing him in front of the people.
Well, for sure, he's getting free advertisement.
Absolutely.
You know, so he was on his former Channel 2 radio show and said, I'm not here to run as a candidate, but what I am here to do, well, we just heard what he said. You know, yeah. The atmosphere.
He mentioned the fact that he was a candidate.
Yes, and you know, the atmosphere is dirtied up with all of these investigations and all of these things. And I think back about, I remember those arguments with Hillary Clinton, and who was poised to be the first female president of the United States until FBI Director Comey said, wait a minute, we just had this tip and we're going to have to investigate email messages that look like she got. And of course, that was enough to make people say, well, wait a minute now. You know, yeah.
And
so.
never said they were investigating what Russia was doing to help Donald Trump.
No, that didn't come
they
up.
still
At the
not
same
doing
time.
nothing about it.
Right.
Yeah, that didn't come up. So, we have a history, and we should have some knowledge, but I'll say this to you. Both of you ladies, you remember that that book we had to read in school, Animal Farm?
Yeah.
Oh,
And the
yes.
horses and the cows were having a conversation saying, you know, this situation is going on out here. It seems familiar. I've seen this before. Now, where have I seen this before? It's hard for us to learn.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And it's hard for our people. I'm talking about be you black, white, green, or yellow on this one. It's hard for particularly our people that have been suffering, trying to pay their utility bills, mortgages, and different things, and as well as feed their family. It's getting worse and worse for them. But yet and still,
Can't keep doing the same thing.
you got people can walk. Get the Republicans. Here they then voted the other day. What you call me? You voted? They voted the other day against the recommendation about taking. My brain went again.
What was it? Well, wait a minute. We had a flash yesterday where the Supreme Court said the Centers for Disease Control did not have the authorization to stop evictions. So evictions across the country, effective this morning, can go forward.
Yeah, now that's some dirty. That is some dirty.
Watch your
stuff.
mouth. Watch your mouth now.
That's
I know what
dirty.
you was about to say.
That is dirty.
Millions are now in trouble. Millions.
It's time
You know,
to-
so,
it's time to get together.
All
It's
right,
time
Miss
for us
Theo. What are the final outtakes you want to share with us this morning? Because there's so
This is
many
getting deeper and
difficult
deeper.
things going on.
Well, that's true. Well, I just want to say you can join me for an afternoon of food research tomorrow. And we're on from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. And the attorney, Hawkins, will be on. He's the one representing the 3 young men who were brutalized in Greektown.
Yes.
So they can Google hood research and tune in with us tomorrow at 3. And he will tell you whatever the update is on what's happening with those gentlemen. And we're looking forward to justice with that police department.
All right. Well, Miss Theo, I think back about my dad. He's gone now. And he used to watch the soaps, and his favorite was As the World Turns.
Oh,
And we still got that going on. As the world is turning faster and faster, and looks like we got to hold on tighter, because everything we know, everything we knew, everything that we thought, everything is being challenged now.
Yeah.
My goodness, my goodness. Thank you, Miss Theo, for sharing that
Good hearing
information.
your voice.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Miss Theo.
All right.
All
Have
right
a
now.
good night. Peace.
Oh Lord. So now, Marion, we got this Mr. Bird that shot Ashley Babbitt, and he's on the grill right now. And it's very interesting to me that he's a black officer that shot a white woman, and the white officers, and it was Fanon that told us about this, Officer Fanon, when he was given orders on what to do when the Black Lives Matter marches were happening. They were told you can kick the daylights out of anybody you think you should. That didn't happen. And he said, but that was the clarity that was offered. If you get into a fisticuff with these Black Lives Matter folks, and it's not all black, a lot of them were white, you could be aggressive. But this one black cop that killed this one white woman for breaking through the window is going to have to leave his house.
That's criminal.
You know, is going to have to leave where he lives. Now, let's cross on over to what's going on in Afghanistan. And this army, whatever this guy was, I saw it last night. Okay, she hung up. This army personnel individual last night started talking about, well, you know, the evacuation process is messy and it's going to be dangerous, and you got the Taliban over here that's mad with the ISIS over here, and that argument is going to go on for a long time, and they're going to be death and destruction and injury. But then he said this, Marion, he said, but war is a nasty business. He says, and it ain't like what you see on TV,
Sure not.
where I stand over here with my musket, you stand over there with your musket, and there's a ditch or a river, a lake in between us, and we shoot at each other. It's not like that. Innocent women, innocent men, innocent children get hurt and killed. And that is why, I didn't know what he was going to say. He said, and that is why we shouldn't go to war. We should not go to war, because this is what war is about. Death, destruction, millions, billions, trillions of dollars, soldiers killed, soldiers wounded, all this kind of stuff. And I thought, you know, that was one of the most significant narratives that I had heard on TV in a long time. And again, that made me think
You
about
remember what his
Dr.
name is?
Barber. No, I don't. I don't remember. And he was talking about how upset he was that his friends that were translators in Afghanistan couldn't get out.
I saw him.
You know, but it made me think about William Barber.
Yep.
The plaque for Poor People's Campaign is anti-poverty, anti-environmental destruction, anti-military budget, and the fourth plaque they had just put on is about the DACA kids, and how the whole question, and Mary, please comment on this. 20 years, United States of America been in Afghanistan, and they needed some roads, and they needed some hospitals, and they needed water purification systems, and whatever all else that they needed. And this concept, same guy talking about it, thinking that you can go to somebody else's nation and turn them into what you are. And then after 20 years, and here's Dr. Barber's issue, billions, trillions of dollars spent, and now it's all over, and people can go home. And what do you have to say, Marion, about this military budget? Seems to be endless dollars there. It's like a machine. You push the button, and the money just start coming
You
out.
don't push no button.
Well, it don't come my way either.
No, it's not coming our way. That money is going towards the same people that's got their foot on our necks, and that's the rich out here. You know, you have to understand that they are behind a lot of that stuff. How many people know how much some of these people, just if you do a little research and find out where's the budget going in D.C. What companies are getting that budget, and what have you. It is not that people that they over there killing right now.
Contractors.
It's not them. It's not the people here in the state. So, you got to start sitting up and coming out of your closets, a lot of you, as far as I'm talking about closets in the way that you be hiding and don't want to participate. Same people that telling us every time we try to tell people, go get the virus taken care of, go do this, and for your own benefit and for all the other people in the neighborhood and what have you. This war,
Billions of dollars.
this money is going to war. Who do you think make money off wars, Maureen?
Well, the people that manufacture arms, the people that manufacture jeeps, the people that manufacture
Bullets.
backpacks, bullets, uniforms, and soldiers get a percentage of what that is. But this military budget, just like what the Reverend Barbara is talking about it, and we're talking about trillions of dollars, and that's trillion
it.
with a T.
You don't
All
even know
this.
what trillion look like.
You
We
know?
don't even know what $1 trillion look like.
My goodness.
You
20
know.
years.
It's been more than that.
Well, I'm talking about 20 years in
Yeah.
Afghanistan.
Yeah, in
And
Afghanistan.
just more and more and more. And, I try to figure, because I'm not an expert in these international issues. But ISIS doesn't like the Taliban because they said they're not strict Muslims. And the ISIS folks say you have to be strict Sharia law. And the Taliban apparently is not that. But yesterday, a female suicide bomber, a girl, she went to, however she got up there and pulled the trigger on that incendiary device she was wearing, that explosive device she was wearing. 13 American soldiers, 10 or 11 of them Marines. The other two, I think, were Navy medics. 60, well, they're saying more than that now, 80 Afghani people, men, women, and a lot of children killed, and some 180 both American and Afghani residents injured, limbs lost. So, you just wonder, ISIS, Taliban, the group, they don't want the United States in their country. Get the hell out of here. Okay, why don't you let them go? What you doing this for? You don't want them there. I don't want them there. We got a lot of stuff to do in this country. A whole lot of stuff to do in this country. And rather than go overseas to make the Vietnamese or the Afghanis or the Pakistanis or whoever else you're going to, make them like you, well, you probably should stay out of those kinds of civil wars. You
can't
Just a moment,
get it
caller.
together here. If you look at the people that they have in D.C., they can't even get it together to come up with who is it?
Go ahead with your
Oh,
point before you forget.
I'm about to. They can't even come up with a decent budget to eliminate
America.
poverty in this country and other countries too.
Yeah, can't be done,
And that's what they say it can't be done, but it can be done.
Sure it can be. Caller, you've been very patient. You are on the air, caller. Thank you for calling Ask Welfare Rights. You're on the air.
Hello?
Yes, caller, you're on the air. Now, we'll ask you to turn the sound on your TV, turn it all the way down, and listen to us on your phone. All right, caller, you're on the air.
Okay, I'm calling to speak to Maureen. I did not want to be on the air.
Oh,
I have some questions about the community program, but I don't want to be on the air. I just wonder how could I speak to her?
okay. Well, call us at the Welfare Rights Office. Do you have the number already, ma'am?
No, I do not.
Okay, let me give you the number. You ready?
Yes,
313
313
964
964
0618.
0618.
Yes, 964 0618. And call down to the Welfare Rights Office.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Now let me add something to that. When you call, when Maureen sit up here and give the telephone number out, or I give the telephone number out, and you call our office, and people might, and there's some nice people down there, and they tell you that neither one is in, or Cookie might not be in, or something like that. But the person that writes those notes out to all of us, they are genuine on carrying out responsibility.
Absolutely.
And so, if they're talking to another client, say for Maureen, for an example, if she's talking to another person that she's trying to deal with a case or something, and the person and one of our people tell you that she cannot talk to you at this moment, but she will be calling you back. Have some patience, because we get swamped quite a bit, because our aim is to eliminate poverty, not for you to constantly stay in poverty.
Of course.
Our aim is to eliminate it, and we need you that are calling, and everybody that are calling and having problems with whatever.
Give us a minute to call you back.
Yeah.
Okay. All righty. 868-4336, 868-0351. At my school, Marion, kids go back on the 7th of September, which is on a Tuesday. Everybody knows that the first Monday in September is Labor Day. And once again, we're not having a Labor Day march. So that's not coming. But on that Tuesday at Detroit Community Schools, over on the west side, we're over on Burke Road. We've got about 6 empty seats. If you're interested in a plus school, plus meaning more than average, we offer a lot of things. So folks that may be interested and still looking for a place for the student that you are housing and feeding and taking care of, contact us over at Detroit Community Schools, 313-537-3570. 537-3570, extension 200, and reach somebody in the office and ask them any questions you want about the enrollment process. Now, I have to tell you, we're K through 12, kindergarten through 12. You have to have up-to-date vaccine records. Now, I know vaccines are a big deal now. I have no idea why. So, let me think now. When Navarre, I had to take him to Dr. Boganker for his shots. And the first series, I don't remember anymore, but, probably within 90 days, Navarre had to have the vaccine for measles, for mumps, for diphtheria, whooping cough, whatever. And then in 6 months, he had to have another series. And I took him on in there. And at that time, Navarre was 6 months old. He was in love with Dr. Boganker's nurse. Her name was Maria. And that renegade Navarre, 6 months old, 9 months old, he had to have another series. And by the time Navarre was 9 months old and he looked at Maria, his eyes just went like this, Marion. His eyes went aflutter. And he fell in love with Maria. And I can still remember taking Navarre up in there. At first he was scared. And, man, by the time Navarre was 9 months and a year old and had to get some other kind of vaccines, take Navarre up in the office and he'd look at me and say, bye, and go behind the desk where Maria was, grab her by the hand, go in the back, shut the door. The mother couldn't go back there. My kid and his nurse went back and visited with the doctor. I'm sitting in the waiting room, and the rest of the mothers is looking at me. And my kid he's just a turncoat. He leave me out in the waiting room and he gone with Maria and come back with suckers and juice and fruit. Turncoat kid. But it was so funny those days, and it never occurred to me that getting a vaccination was a problem. And now here's some grown A folk here talking about, I want to wait. Well, how long you want to wait? I want to see what the after effects. Well, Marion,
The after effects, Maureen. The after effects.
I know you're relaxing.
And I'm relaxing
Yeah, I
now.
know, but
I
you got to
don't
sit
need
up
you,
here
so-
if you're going to talk.
No, I
Yeah.
just want to get that in.
Oh, okay. Well, they talking about the. I want to wait so I can see what the after effects are, and I got my shot in December, and the second one we got it in January.
Yeah.
And we're perfectly fine. We're perfectly fine. Now they're talking about a booster shot.
Which is
You know,
normal, a normal
that's
thing.
not unnatural. Yeah, of course. It's like a flu shot. You have to get a flu shot. Some people get a flu shot every year.
I do.
And I never got a flu shot before. I got one, my first one last year, but it's been tested and proven already. So you don't need to wait. And part of the waiting means that the folks that are unvaccinated are suffering and going to suffer, and a bunch of them are not going to make it through this process. So, people should get their vaccination. All of this conversation about Tuskegee and whatnot, that's old news. That's not where we are anymore. This
Technology has taken us over the moon.
and we're no longer in that phase. So folks should really, if you haven't gotten your shot yet, all of these TV programs that show this mother, this father, this child, that child, grandparents that are talking about, I wish I had gotten the vaccine. And now I'm sick, or my husband passed, or my wife passed. I saw a terrible case a couple of days ago. 32-year-old woman had her second baby, and the mother was saying, we're all vaccinated, you got to go. No, I'm going to wait till after the baby's born. No, you got to go get vaccinated. Well, talk to your doctor. I did talk to the doctor. What did the doctor say? That it's okay for me to be vaccinated. That's safety for me and the baby, but I'm going to wait. Well, she did wait, and she had the baby. No, she had the baby, and the next day she died. And that it's just some stuff you just don't need to risk. Marion, you have to sit up. I know you're having a good time in that chair, but if you're going to talk, you got to sit up
see,
here.
I know y'all jealous when I sit back.
See, so trying to wait to get this vaccination.
But it's the
What are you
same.
thinking?
It's the same thing over and over again with the people that claim that they will wait, and
Wait
and
for
some
what?
in some in my family, and now you get to the point you say, what are they waiting on?
They say that they're waiting to see the results. Well, what
Well,
results are you talking about?
Maureen, that was I
We
was
had
at-
the shot. We fine. Our elbows are working good. We doing fine. My
you know
goodness.
it's coming to a
You have to get the shot. That's just it. And Marion, they're making all kinds of arrangements now. Delta, I saw that one this morning. I knew that one was going to work. Delta, I believe, is the first one, and I heard that from one of Anthony Adams' campaign people a couple of weeks ago, and I thought it was interesting. Start charging more money for your insurance coverage. If you're not going to get the shot, you have to pay more for insurance because you're putting the rest of us at risk.
at risk.
And they settled that, and that Delta Airlines sent out that message to their staff. Your insurance goes, up until September, whatever that date is. You have that length of time to get vaccinated. Anybody unvaccinated at Delta after that time, your personal medical coverage goes up $200 a month. And that's September, so in October, whatever you were paying, you got to add $200 to it. And once that message went out, Marion, they said there was a rumbling of feet. And then the people running to the vaccination doctor. Wait for me, don't close. And that people at the Delta Airlines were saying, I heard a couple of them saying earlier, that what they were talking about, they just going to walk away. But now that this money thing didn't come up, they're walking not away, they're walking toward the vaccination doctor. So I think that's a good move. Charge them more because they are creating a medical hazard.
For all
And
of us.
why should I walk through the streets and go get me a bag of Lay's potato chips and you already been there and touched it? And I got to touch it too. So I thought that was very, very workable. All right, now, Marion, we almost done. I don't know if there are any new news pieces about in Highland Park, because I wanted to say something about the eviction diversion plan.
Okay,
So,
let me real quick.
what's
I
happening
thought
in Highland
Linda
Park?
would be done called this morning because she's usually on, on the information. But the Human Rights Coalition will be hosting, along with the mayor and everybody, that we could get there, meeting in the next 2 weeks to look at certain questions that people in Highland Park have. And I will, by next week, we will have the leaflets and be able to, get them out in Highland Park. Again, here we are, Maureen.
Is it a community meeting?
It's
That's
a
what you mean?
community meeting.
Highland
and-
Park community
And
meeting.
and people have been asking more and more about the water situation. And, we need to bring in there also, I'm gonna call down the, DTE and get them in there and telling us, that, the same program we have had for long time with them. So, keep your eyes and your ears open to get the information. I'm sorry that the person that generally,
That's all right.
and we'll get it out. We will get it out.
Well, that brings up this last question I wanted to at least pay attention to. I think we've had 5 outages, DTE outages in 4 months, something like that. 5 outages in 5 months. And then the other day, this is Friday, so that must have been Tuesday or Wednesday, there was some rain that fell. I didn't see much of it in northwest Detroit, but after 10 minutes, there were 30,000 outages. It looked like about
I was-
six and a
I
half
was
drops
one
of
of 'em.
rain fell.
You were one. I
You
was
know?
one. That was.
I'm talking about this last one. And you've been having trouble with
Over and over
some of
again.
your electricity early in the morning. But see, this last outage, that didn't do anything to my household or the people in my neighborhood. It was the one before that, where we were part of the 750,000 customers that were out for 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 days. And then when I saw Hurricane Henri went through the East Coast the other day, and they were talking about there could be as many as 150,000 outages. I thought 150 outages. We had almost, 3 times, 5 times that amount. And coverage was on the local television and radio sets. But clearly, the folks at DTE are going to have to get some different kind of fixtures. Because, see, if the fixtures, the connections can't withstand a 50-mile-an-hour wind and they start coming down, then they need to get something that can manage a 100-mile-an-hour wind gust and not fall down. Now, they were telling us, this is the 2 week ago, the 11th is when the big one happened, 750,000 outages. And you were out for 1 or 2 days. And half the people I know, probably more than that, we lost everything in the refrigerator. And they're talking about making a small contribution toward what you lost. And the part of that, Marion, that was so interesting is that Gretchen, the Governor Whitmer, she wrote a note, op-ed, something, and it said, these utility companies, Consumer Powers,
I enjoyed that.
all of them, they're going to have to do something about these frequent and continuous outages. And she sent the Attorney General, Dana Nessel, you got to go over to DTE, Consumers Power, and Indiana Lights or something, what the third one was, and tell them that the fact that you had to bring in 1,800 new linesmen, you had to bring in multiple additional service cars, you had to bring all of that in, Okay, and the expectation is that they want to transfer the cost for those employees, emergency vehicles, pass it through to us, customers. And Gretchen Whitmer sent Attorney General Nissel and told her, "You go tell the Michigan Public Service Commission that I do not approve. I don't think that these utility companies need to be charging us with this, because you should pay for it out of your profits." That's what she
I have
said.
one last thing to
I
say.
love that.
That was a dynamic. I was
response.
looking at the TV like this. I said, "Get it, girl." But Maureen, we have been talking to DTE for years. I know why Vet and I was always in meetings with them. At times I didn't know what to take. My pencil,
A ruler.
ruler,
Yeah, just call it a ruler. Don't say nothing else.
or my broom to sweep them out of there. But there's every time something happens, people don't realize they take that away from us. And I'm talking about the people of Michigan, the people of Texas, and everything. We end up carrying out the responsibility that they should have carried out. And I leave by saying, when they had to come to my house late at night because the lights were sparkling, I'm still suffering from that type of stuff, because they want us to get electrician now to come over and deal with the stuff. So, it's time out giving them all the care. I mean, giving them all the responsibility. I see it's time to go, huh?
No, he said 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
That's what this was. He wasn't saying boo.
You don't know what he was
You
saying.
know.
She don't speak that kind of language.
I didn't.
No, but
You know.
anyway.
But that's what the governor
have
is
it.
talking about.
The other thing is, they told us on McLean, came up to my house and said, "Mr. Kramer, I want you to know that we are trying to get people to hire to work at DTE." Now, I don't remember if it was for $15 an hour or $20 an hour, because I know I told them, I said, you should be asking for $20 an hour. So
They are hiring.
go down to DTE and let us know what happens once you go there, and whether or not you were able to get a job.
Okay, now Marion's advice is on target as usual, except for that one little piece. Marion says go down there.
Oh, I
Don't go
forget
down
that.
there.
Don't go down there. I
Don't go
forget.
down there. There's still
I
COVID.
cannot.
It's only
forget
been
that
2
COVID.
years, and Marion still has not caught up and with uniting with COVID. Do not go down
No,
there,
I'm
because
not
they're
going
not
to.
going to let you in. So there is COVID still existing.
Yeah.
So go online
Yeah.
and fill out an application, because what we were told last year is that DTE has to hire at least 5,000 workers, because so many of their workers are aging out and don't want to, don't want to be with DTE any longer. So we got a lot of that that's going on. So now back to this economy, this war economy stuff. And today, is it today? Today is the day, it might have been yesterday, where the Poor People's Campaign was in West Virginia. And they decided to do a march on Manchin, the Democrat, who wants to do the Rodney King thing. Can't we all just get along? And they were there yesterday to demand that he, a Democrat in West Virginia, start supporting some of these bills. Now, I was surprised, Marion, that it was yesterday, might have been Wednesday, I don't know. What's his name? John Lewis. The John Lewis bill
That's what I was looking for earlier.
defeated. No, it was not defeated. I'm wrong.
They
It was
brought it back.
approved, but it was approved by Democrats only. And what I was surprised at is not one Republican voted for it. Not one. This was one of their buddies, and not one. Even Ted. What's the African American senator? senator name? I don't know.
Yeah, I was.
I don't remember.
remember
Yeah, but he said no. Too many loose ends, too many open-ended questions in the bill. You know, so I was surprised that the Civil Rights Voting Act activities have to be readdressed every 4 years. I don't know why we have to still do that. You know, so the very first time that things change and the Senate says, no, I don't want you to do that any longer, that becomes a question. So, all right, I wanted to at least mention that nobody in the Republican Party voted for the John Lewis bill. So, Marion, I think we have come to the end of our broadcast. You have about 20 seconds to say goodbye.
Have a nice weekend, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
All right,
And join the movement.
you know, Marion and I going to start focusing on two things, bringing up different meetings and events that are happening so people can tune in on their own, like Hood Research tomorrow at 3. And there are other activities that people can get involved in. We are about to sign off now. And if the Lord is willing and the creek does not rise, Marion and I will both be back here next Friday. Don't forget Bravo Community Center tomorrow at 1 o'clock, 13340 Harper. And like we tell you all the time, be safe, be careful, and goodbye.
There's a new financial empowerment center located in the Wayne County Treasurer's Office on the 5th floor of 400 Monroe in Detroit.
If you or someone you know needs help with their finances, budgeting, and making monthly payments, the Detroit Financial Empowerment Center can help.
Wayne Metro Community Action Agency has counselors ready to provide free one-on-one counseling to help you address issues related to utility bills, taxes, and other financial matters. We can also help you improve your credit score.